So, you want to move to Japan. Here's exactly why you shouldn't do that. So, to preface this video, I'm not actually telling you shouldn't move to Japan. I'm just giving you reasons for why you might not enjoy it, why it might not fulfill your expectations. I'm just playing devil's advocate. So, if you do get a bit offended by anything in this video, or you feel like I'm telling you not to, Japan's a great place. You'll really enjoy it, but you have to know everyone always talks about the positives and never really the negatives. So I thought I'll play devil's advocate, and I've been living here for nearly a year now, so I feel like I've got enough to say. After all, this is just one man's opinion. So what's up? It's your boy Gaijin Rider. So I've been in Japan for about 10 months now. 10 months. Got here in November last year, so I had 2 months of fun before the quarantine happened. So yeah. Let's not talk about the dark era that we currently live in. Let's pretend that's not happening. But I picked the worst year ever to move to Japan, didn't I? But reason number one. You're going to hate your English teaching job. Now this one doesn't apply to everyone. A lot of people have a lot of other jobs. A lot of people are going to come here as students. But don't come to Japan to teach English. It's probably the worst paying to cost of living country there is out of all of Southeast Asia. Other countries tend to pay for like your housing. They give you really good benefits. In Japan, unless you're with JET program, and only rich people get into JET program. I mean, like everyone I meet who's in JET program, almost all of them come from upper middle class backgrounds, very wealthy families. A lot of white people get into JET program, affluent white people. That's JET program's like a soft power play thing. You're only getting a JET program if you're rich, most likely. Majority of people who get in are rich. But unless you're in JET program, you got it tough. I've worked for both Eikaiwa and doing ALT work now, and you're on the short end of the sticks on both of them. But that's a video for another time on those particular things. But in Japan, you're doing a lot of customer service work, and the customer service standard is incredibly high. You're gonna love it when you come to Japan. You're gonna see all this great customer service. You're gonna be like, by God, this is bloody great. This is wicked. And then you're gonna realize when you get into work and you're not doing the same things as them, you're gonna be screwed. Like I'm quite lucky in my school, things are quite loose, but I'm already used to teaching, so I already know what's going on when I show up, especially in the Japanese environment. When I started my new ALT position, I knew we'll go on in, I know what's up. But I got some friends who had this tough end of the stick. They're expected to do like a lot of photocopying, and they'll be told instructions, and when they get those instructions wrong, this is a big thing in Japan. When you get instructions wrong, like told wrong to you, and you follow those wrong instructions perfectly, a lot of the time you will be in the problem. And in Japan, they have a big idea of you always have to be busy. And I don't know how this is in other work environments. It really depends, but in English teaching, they're really, really strict on having to be busy. For instance, when I was in Eikaiwa, oh man, that was fun when I was in Eikaiwa. One time I had an empty, so I showed up to my receptionist. I said, what can I do to help? Because, you're getting paid, so you have to do something, right? She looks at me, she nods. Gives me a massive stack of blank papers. Blank. Both sides. Blank. Gives me a shredder, one of those hand crank shredders, right? And she tells me, please shred paper. And I had to shred blank paper for 40 minutes. And that happened multiple times. Can you bloody believe that? Shredding blank paper, that is the most dehumanizing thing I can think of. And I've done like a lot of manual labor jobs. I've done like cleaning and stuff, I'm from a working class background, so I'm not stuck up with being told I have to shred blank, especially when you had especially when you're working overtime to do like a lot of planning of lessons and stuff. That can be a bit. It's taking the Mickey, really, isn't it? It's taking the absolute Mickey. But oh well, it is what it is. And if you've got an accent, it's going to be extremely tough on you. For some reason, in Japan, they think every foreigner has blonde hair, blue eyes, which is like far from the truth. You know, unless you're East European, having blonde hair and blue eyes, that ain't happening. That ain't happening if you're from East European background. That's happening, but yeah, unless you're extremely attractive like that, you just get treated like crap. You're just a you're like an I don't know. It's hard to explain, but if you are coming here to teach English, please be aware you're expected, even in like the teaching world, you're expected to like have high customer service. Like if I don't speak in Keigo at work, I'll get a talking to, you know what I mean, right? And look, right, my job advertises no English required. I'm not English. That'll be a bit funny. No Japanese required, yeah? And I'm expected to speak Keigo in the workplace. I'm like, look, I'm just chilling, I'm just vibing. If I make a mistake, you gotta forgive me, you know, I'm just a dumb foreigner. Reason number two. It's really hard to make friends in Japan. What does that mean? Well, in Japan, a lot of people are coming and going. You know, you're gonna meet a lot of people that are here for a year, here for 5 years. But most people don't stay in Japan forever. Most people don't stay. So those who've been here for a long time, they don't want to be friends with you. A lot of them, they're jaded. You know, they've lost a lot of friends over the years. They haven't been able to make any friends. Everyone leaves the country, and you think, okay, great. I'll make friends with some Japanese people, right? And that's a valid argument as well. Here's the thing: a lot of Japanese people are going to want to be your friend if, well, that's a free English lesson, really. It's not true for everyone, but like a lot of people I meet, you'll never end up having a real conversation with them. They're just hanging out around with you because it's a free English lesson. English lessons are expensive. Why pay $75 to hang out, 75 quid, yeah, to hang out one-on-one with a teacher for 40 minutes when you can go to a bar and hang out with a foreigner who's also an English teacher all night long for free. Sometimes they'll even buy you drinks and stuff. You know what I mean, right? It's common sense to these people, and a lot of people are willing to abuse that. Now, that's not everyone, but you're going to meet a lot of people who want to be your friends solely for the reason for free English lessons, and that's something that takes quite a lot of getting used to. Yeah, that's something quite tough. And if you speak well Japanese, you can get around that. You can make a lot of friends. But I've noticed a lot of the foreigners who do speak fluent Japanese, they're sort of like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. They don't really understand real Japanese culture and stuff. Like they more of like understand from, a lot of them have done like 4 years degrees in Japanese, which is kind of useless. Let's be honest here. Not to disrespect you for the degree, but you know, spending 4 years to learn the language and history of one country, kind of useless for language like Japanese. Whereas there's like languages such as like Mandarin, which are more, you know, applicable in this current climate. You know what I mean, right? But yeah, and it's a bit tough making friends in Japan as a foreigner, especially if you're where I am now. I was in Osaka and it was so hard to make friends here. Now I live in the middle of nowhere, right? And you know, there ain't no one to speak to. You have to go into a shop to make friends, you know what I mean, right? Like I go to the izakaya, grab some drinks, make some friends there. But once this quarantine thing's over, trust me, I'm back straight in Nishinari. Straight in Nishinari, my favorite place in Japan. Honest to God, best place in Japan. Reason number three, drinking. Everyone loves a good pint, everyone likes drinking. But in Japan, drinking is a whole new league. There ain't no gear in Japan, right? And not saying you should do it, but there ain't no vices, nothing like that. Nothing at all. what there is just drinking. Drinking is the only thing you do after work, right? See, you got the time off. You're either going hiking or you're going drinking. That's it. If you don't drink, don't come to Japan. I wish I was kidding to you, but if you want to spend your time indoors, you got like activities and hobbies you can do indoors. I'll recommend it to you, right? If you don't mind your alone time, stuck in your house, it's okay. But if you want to go out and then like see the country or make friends and stuff, you're gonna have to be drinking. Everyone in Japan drinks. Everyone. When someone says they don't drink, they're usually lying. A lot of the time. Not always. Not always. There's some people who generally don't drink and whatnot. But you know, a lot of people are a bit embarrassed about it. I'm like, oh no, I don't drink. And then you see them walking around out their little palace with like 500 cans of beer in a bag. Yeah. A lot of people drink, and the drinking's taken on to extremes here. The bars in Japan are much smaller, right? You can maybe fit like 5 people into an average bar, right? Obviously more when, but ideally, you know, you'll be in the bar with 5 people, and you finish your drink. There ain't no chilling out. You have to buy another one straight away. You're not drinking fast enough. The bartender will tell you, "Fuck off, finish your drink ASAP and buy another drink." Right? You're buying a lot in Japan. And you're getting real drunk. You're blacking out a lot. You're forgetting last night, and you're spending a lot of money. And big reason for this is the stress. A lot of stress in Japan. A lot of stress from co-workers. For instance, you won't get told off for doing your job wrong, right? You'll get told off for something else entirely. Let's say you messed up in something that you're actually supposed to do for your workplace. No one cares. You're the expert. No one can look down at you for that. You know what I mean, right? No one's gonna care at all, right? Because that's what you're hired for. They ain't gonna question you. But you get a bit of paperwork wrong, right? You get something like that wrong. You get some contract signing. You don't speak in Keigo, all this and that. You get in big trouble for that, and it just leads to stress, and the stress leads to drinking, and then the drinking leads to salarymen past that in the road. And right now we're under the state of the age of Corona, Corona no Jidai, Jidai no Corona, um, and a lot of people are are pretending not to go out and pretending not to go out drinking. I know a lot of people who are going out drinking. A lot of teachers, a lot of government workers. You know, a lot of a lot of people with very powerful positions, low positions. Everyone's going out drinking, still going to bars and stuff. They're just being more subtle about it and pretending they're not. But they all are. They all are, and it's just from the accumulation of stress. Reason number 4. The level of English in Japan. Now, I've been to a fair few countries, some mostly Europe, and I've been to North Africa a bit, and you know, I've spent a lot of time in Algeria, and not in the not touristy places, right? But I was as a kid, you know, and I think Japan's the worst country I've been to when it comes to English. Um, and you might think to yourself, okay, whatever, right? I'm in another country, I should learn the language, and exactly you should. But Japan's not used to foreigners, and they're not used to people making mistakes in Japanese. Whereas in London, where I'm from, especially East London, we have a lot of foreigners, a lot of people whose second language, third language, sometimes fourth language is English, right? And you know, they make a lot of mistakes, of different pronunciations, and we're more in tune with that. In Japan, it's more of a language only Japanese people speak, right? So they if you make mistakes, it's gonna be a lot. Then they're less likely to understand you. A lot of the time, you know, you'll get the wrong phonetic wrong in the word, and they'll go and you'll be like, oh god, you'll try saying it, You'll say like a 5-minute sentence, you make one mistake, does go at you, and especially in the countryside, more like boony areas, you're gonna get that, and it's because people don't really understand. You know, they've never encountered someone who makes mistakes like that before, so it's their first time. And in Japan, they don't need to speak English because you know, other countries, They travel more, they go out, they're connected to other countries. You know, they need a common language, an international language, and that happens to be English. In Japan, a lot of people I speak to have never left the country. I've met people who speak fluent English and they're like, oh, I've never been abroad before, except Hawaii. They've always been to Hawaii, but they never clock that Hawaii is another country there, because the parts they go to, a lot of people speak Japanese and whatnot, and it's very friendly. So, which is fair enough. It might as well be Okinawa at that point, you know. But a lot of people have never had a Japanese passport in their life, so they don't need to speak English, unlike any other country I've been to before. And yeah, it's kind of hard to understand the situation you're in, and very hard to get around. When you're not dealing with tourist stuff, you're struggling. You're struggling. You gotta find the right bars where the bartender's willing to understand you and stuff. You know, when you're giving people money though, they're always willing to help. They're always willing to help if you're spending money. I've never had like a problem in like trying to buy something in Japan, but I can get around. I can deal with the city hall. You know, with like barely any Japanese. You know, people are willing to help and stuff, but you have to know when you come here, the level of English you might be used to from other countries, non-existent here, and the level of Japanese you have to speak to be able to like address your point, especially because it's like a completely different language and way of thinking than we do. So it's kind of hard to adapt. I think it's number 5, right? Reason number 5. It's bloody expensive in Japan. It's really, really, really expensive. See, when you come here on holiday, you're gonna look at the price of like eating out and stuff like that. I never been here on holiday. This is my first time in Asia, and it's just to work. And a lot of people tell me, oh, it must be so cheap in Japan, all this and that. It's not. Um, Eating out is like super cheap here. Way, way cheaper than back home. Like, if I want to eat healthy in Japan and eat out, I can do it. Especially back when I was in Osaka. In the countryside, not so much. But when I was back in Osaka, I could eat out for like dirt cheap. I could buy food for like next to nothing. Like 500 yen, I'll get a meal, right? 5 quid for a meal, eat out. That's proper good. With like, you know, they don't give you drinks, they give you unlimited cold water here. And you get a lot of food here, right? Back in England, eating out's quite expensive. You're looking at like 15 quid to eat at a restaurant, whereas in Japan, if you know where to go, it's like 5 quid for a nice meal, the same quality. And the clothes are expensive here. Bloody expensive to buy some clothes here. If I want a t-shirt, that's like costing me like 2,000 yen. You know what I mean, right? That's 20 quid. And back in England, we got like thrift shops and whatnot, all that sort of stuff, all that good in. You know, we call them charity shops back where I'm from. But here, these thrift shops are like second-hand stores, and they're bloody expensive. They're normally a lot more expensive than buying clothes first-hand. And we got Primani, Primark. We got Primark back home making clothes so cheap. Here, a pair of jeans can set you back like $100. Like when I see there's a sale going on jeans, I buy the whole stack. Like Don Quixote can be real good sometimes. Sometimes they have a massive sale. I just buy as many jeans as I can get my hands on then. But otherwise, you're looking at like 100 quid for a pair of jeans. Back in England, spending 20 quid on a pair of jeans was an investment for me. And I'm spending a lot of money here, a lot of money, and I generally can't help it. It's just the way everything costs here, really. And I've tried my best to like, you know, save where I can, and just it ain't enough. It ain't enough at all. Yeah, cooking indoors is bloody. Doing the shopping, yeah. I keep saying grocery shopping. Hang out with Yanks too much. But every time I go to the supermarket, yeah, do some shopping, yeah, buy my food and stuff. Come back with the shopping, start cooking, yeah. Bloody fortune. Bloody fortune. Unless I cook like curry and pasta, it costs way too much to cook. Like, if I'm cooking a meal, I can easily spend 1,000 yen on a meal, right? To cook myself, right? And that's not including like electric bills, right? Because I got an electric cooker, or gas bills, or whatever you use, right? Just on the ingredients, you can spend like 10 quid on a meal. Back in England, I could feed myself for 2 quid. I could make a delicious meal. Yeah, here it's 10 quid for like a single meal. and that's real expensive. That's real bloody expensive. Last reason, number 6. Reason number 6. You're far away from home. You're really far away from home. So I'm from the UK, I'm from London. And when I say London, I generally mean London. I'm not from... A lot of people in Japan say the biggest city that people might know. Like a lot of French people always say, "Oh, yes, I am from Paris." Yes, yeah, they're never from Paris. So just like most people from London who say they're from London, not from London. And, you know, no one ever believes I'm actually from London. They always think I'm chatting BS. They think I'm taking the mickey. But yeah, no, I'm just you know, it's real hard to be away from home. Very hard to be away from home, and this is the longest I've spent without seeing my family in person. And it ain't like I can go buy a ticket to come back. I was planning to by now to have gone back on for a holiday back home, but I can't. And do you know why? Because of Corona. If I go, it's a one-way trip, and even then, it's such an expensive trip. I know people who haven't been visit their family in 5 years. I couldn't hack that 5 years without seeing a family, and 1 year is long enough. You know what I mean? But yeah, you're on the other side of the world, and this is the furthest you can go to your family if you're from the UK, I reckon. And there ain't no easy way to go and come back. You know, this ain't like you've gone to Europe, right, for a few months and you can go visit every month. No easy. Now here it's a 2-day journey to get back home, and that's using the most modern things possible. You know, 1 day at least. So it's tough. It's real tough. A lot of people might not think they like their family or this and that, but trust me, you miss your friends, you miss your family when you go, especially when you go this far abroad. This is as far away from England as I can possibly get without leaving the planet, and it dawns on me a lot, you know, it dawns on me. Anyways, guys, that was my top 6 reasons why you should not come to Japan. If you agree, leave a like. If you disagree, leave a like and leave a comment why. Do you have any other reasons why you wouldn't come to Japan? Any reasons why you regret coming to Japan? Any reasons why you want to come to Japan? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that subscription thingy-majig. Hit that bell button in it. And stay rude.